Yeah, hello everyone. Let's get started. Hello everyone. Today is August 6th, 2024. It's our first meeting for the LCD operator working group. Yeah, eventually the working group is created. It's super excited. Yeah, the stakeholder SIG are SIG Closed Life Cycle and SIG LCD. We will have bi-weekly meeting every other Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And there are 5 organizers for now. Yeah, since it's our first meeting, probably we can have a roundtable self-introduction, at least including the organizers. What do you think? Yeah.
I'm sorry, should we enable recording?
Oh, I suppose the recording should be automatically recorded.
Yeah,
Right.
it gave me the recording notice, so we are being recorded.
Yeah, sure.
Got
Yeah.
it, thank you. Mhm.
Yeah. So since it's our first meeting, so I propose everyone, at least including the organizers, to have a roundtable self-introduction. Yeah, that's starting from me. Yeah, I'm Benjamin. I'm working for the VMware part our Broadcom group. I'm also a SIG LCD tech lead and also LCD maintainer. Yeah, next one, Hackman.
Hi
I
everyone,
can start.
I'm Cyprian.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sorry, if you want, I don't mind.
I'm Andrei Kvapel, CEO and founder of Ionix. We're developing our own etcd operator, and I'm glad to see you here. So many people. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go next. Hi, I'm Cyprian. I am a maintainer of KOps and etcd manager, which is kind of an etcd operator. I'm really happy to be here and to see this developing so nicely.
I'm Timur Tukayev. I'm working at Ionix too. Passionate about open source, but I'm not an engineer.
Next, Josh. Probably everybody know
Okay.
you.
Yep. Sorry, trying to get everybody in here as attendees. I'm Josh Burkus. I work for Red Hat. I've been using etcd forever. Also in Kubernetes contributor experience. That's about it. Who hasn't gone?
Hey team, I'm James, architect at Red Hat and maintainer for etcd. Glad to be here and glad to see this kicking off. Thanks to Benjamin for making it.
Thanks, yeah. Is Justin in the meeting? No, probably no. I don't see Justin. Yeah, anyone, please feel free to continue to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name's Tim Larkin. I'm a cloud engineer in Free Commerce, and I'm also working on an etcd operator with Andrei and Artyom.
Yeah, thank you.
My name is Artyom. I'm working at Deutsche Telekom. We're building the European Union cloud with Kubernetes managed bare metal environment.
Yeah, good.
My name, I'm Brandon Jacobs. I work at CoreWeave. We offer managed Kubernetes, and we have an etcd operator also. We've been running for about 9 months now and looking to open source it in the next 3 or 4 months. So happy this is here.
Hi, my name is Jiwan. I work at Google. I'm a contributor to etcd.
Who's the next one? Akar, are you?
I'm currently working in Broadcom and we started contributing to etcd. Yeah, I've taken interest in the etcd operator. So, yep, here to lesson learn and contribute.
Who's the next one?
I can go. Hello, I'm Bogdan. I work at Apple, try to contribute to etcd. We have internal version of the operator, and unfortunately, the person who's closely working on that couldn't join today, but I'm trying to get them to work on this on the operator more. So just representing them.
Is there anyone?
Yeah, I can go last, I guess. So I'm Henry. I currently work at Swisscom, also etcd contributor, just sitting here to see how the operator thing is going.
Yeah,
Thanks.
awesome. Yeah. Okay. Okay, if there's not anyone, then we can continue the meeting. Yeah, there are 5 organizers for now. So I propose the organizers to host the meeting in turn. For example, this time I host the meeting, next time the Hackman, next time Josh and James and Justin. So in turn. We have a dedicated Slack channel, the etcd operator. Yeah, if you have any question, please feel free to post the next Slack channel. We also have a mailing list. Currently is we use the etcd tab. Actually, we have a new mailing list. There's a pending PR. There's a pending PR. When the PR is merged, then we will use the new mailing list. One more thing, because because this issue is not resolved yet, we should create a Google Doc in the in a Kubernetes drive. But currently the issue isn't resolved, so I create this doc in my personal Google account. Once this is resolved, we will migrate all the agenda, all the minutes to that new official Google Doc. Yeah, our steering committee liaison is Moshe Zulik. Yeah, this is our new etcd operator working group. Probably that's to take a look. Recording. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, next one, I'm going to talk about the chart. Oh, sorry, it's not. Oh, the chart. Yeah, the most important thing we need to understand what's in scope or what's out of scope. The two things we need to highlight is what is out of scope. Manage etcd cluster running in non-Kubernetes environment is out of scope because this is the scope of etcd manager. Usually in these scapes we usually will run etcd as process instead as a pod in Kubernetes. So this is the etcd manager's responsibility. So we are not going to manage etcd in non-Kubernetes environments. And also the etcd cluster is to support application instead of Kubernetes itself. So the etcd so we are not going to integrate with the cluster API in the first step. Probably in the long run, it's possible etcd cluster will run as external etcd cluster and integrate with the kube add-on. So it's possible in the long term, but in the short term, that's not, it's out of scope. So we are going to the etcd will run as pod in Kubernetes environment. This is the in scope, just similar to the normal workload. Yeah, this is the scope and out of scope. Yeah, in the first step, we will collect the requirement and use case, use a survey. Yeah, this is the very first step. We posted the survey probably 1 or 2 months ago. We have already got some feedback. Yeah, this is the survey response. We've got 50 response. Yeah. Yeah, I think the most important one is the required feature and capability. Most likely, we will create the roadmap for the etcd operator based on this answer. Yeah, I'm thinking probably in the first step, we will convert this survey result into a report. And then we will create a roadmap based on the response.
Yeah, I can do some digestion of that, including also maybe filtering out. Well, there's only 2 people who said they wouldn't use an official etcd operator. There were a bunch of maybes, so I think we should count everybody's responses.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to make much of a difference to filter out those 2 people.
Yeah.
The one of the things I want to discuss is we did leave this open for people to suggest the features that were really important to them. And so we'll want to take a look at those and see if there are things that we felt that we left out that ought to be specifically considered. Not that there aren't plenty there, right? And so if you look at it right now is obviously cluster creation, number 1 thing, as you would expect.
Yeah.
And then after that, priorities include health monitoring, right? Yeah. Setting up, what is that? Upgrading, right? Setting up TLS. Which is further down, right?
Yeah. The understanding performance.
Yeah. Yep.
Upgrade. Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and backups. I guess it's actually more interesting to look at what was not a priority for people. So for example, I would say based on responses, we don't need the operator to be able to handle unencrypted clusters. Like we might do that anyway if it's easy, but if that ends up getting crossed off the list of features, it's not a problem.
Okay. Okay.
I know.
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I know a few projects who are using etcd without encryption. This is usually some stores, Maya Store, Lean Store, Vita Store. They might require this feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We can have. Yeah. In the first step, we will get a list. For example, the top 1. What's the top 1, top 2, top 3? Get a list ordered by the response, and basically we will create a roadmap. Basically, it will align with the ranking of what the feedback, and after that we can do some adjustment for the roadmap based on our discussion in the next step. Do you know, Josh, do you know, is there an easy way to convert the survey result into reports? Is there an easy way to do that?
Yeah, I'll run it through some database stuff. I just won't be able to do it during the meeting.
Okay.
But I'll run it through some database stuff and produce some new graphs. Because I mean, really what I'm seeing here is based on at least respondees, and we'll want to tweak this, right? Is we effectively have 3 groups of priorities, right? We have things that are clearly top priorities across most users. And then we have things that maybe half the users care about. And then we have things that only a minority of users care about. And that's actually kind of nice, right? It gives us an ABC grouping of feature priorities that we can create based on this. Like I said, the one thing is I think we'll want to discuss the additional suggestions that people had. In case there's something that we look at, because obviously if somebody suggested something, only they voted for it. And the question is whether or not it's something that we think is critical and ought to be added to the priorities somewhere, and if so, where. Like, for example, one person added running etcd with in-memory storage, with mtdir storage, etc. I mean, I guess one of my questions is, does that actually make a difference in how we design the operator? Because because presumably the operator would be given a PVC, not necessarily create its own, or given a PV, not necessarily create its own PV. In which case they can use it with whatever storage they want.
I'll say from experience, we
Yeah.
like I said, we've been running ours for the last 9 months, and we went with a per pod approach and not a stateful set.
Yeah.
So we use PVCs to manage the state. So in memory
Yeah.
will drastically change the design
Mhm.
of the operator. So we don't because we just use NVMe backed like so like we don't care about performance of in memory, but we also do some pretty fancy things like if a node dies and it's an unavailable member, we just kill it and recreate it. So like, but it will affect it, to your point, how you design the operator if you decide to support in memory versus persistence.
Yeah. So we kind of need to discuss those additional suggestions just to see if any of them should climb the priority list. And I think, I mean, we can obviously do that during a meeting, but I think it's going to help if I actually go ahead and arrange these into the 4 groupings, with the 4th grouping being additional suggestions, so that people can mark them up. I mean, because some of these things are just not, are not even going to make it, and we can limit it pretty easily. And some of them I feel like are kind of included, because like if the operator is going to manage TLS, then it needs to either handle automated certificate renewal, or it needs to interact with something else in Kubernetes that handles that. Because you can't really have TLS without certificate renewal.
Yeah,
but-
regarding for the TLS, I suppose we will follow the same pattern as the etcd manager.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think we should focus most of the effort should be focused on the top priority. For example, you just 4 level A, B, C, and additional feature. We should focus on the 4 top priority in the first step.
Yeah. So anyway, we need to, and I don't necessarily want to take over the meeting to do that, although depending on how much other material we have to cover, I think it's something that we're going to want to discuss. So I think I'll put up everything based on those 3 groupings in a document in our shared drive as soon as we figure out how to access it, and share it out with everybody, and then people can comment. Because like one of the things we want to straighten out is again, whether or not certain features are dependent on other features and therefore that changes their priority, whether or not any of these additional suggestions are worth prioritizing. Pretty much, and then that'll have our sort of feature set. That'll be really good, because both it tells us what to work on and it gives us a screening test for existing operators, right? Because this way, if we have our list of required features, then we can measure existing operators and see whether or not they implement, which of those features they implement.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Yes, I agree. Yeah, Bogdan, are you going to say something?
Yeah, I have a question. I'm not sure that's possible, but is there, out of these 50 responders, is there a way to kind of reach back and say, hey, like clarifying questions, or let's say when the roadmap is done for people to say, okay, yeah, this kind of looks good. I don't know if that's possible to kind of reach to people who responded here.
Yes, for 32 of them. 32 of them gave us their email addresses.
Ah, cool. Okay.
So yes, so we can reach back to them and say, hey, this is our priority document and we want your comments on it. I say actually like 5 or 7 of those people are in this meeting. So and actually when we do the priority setting meeting, it would be nice to in fact invite everybody who gave their email address to that meeting. Not all of them will be able to make it, but they did give us their address so that we could invite them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. Since the survey is the base for any further discussion. So when we roughly can we get the report, Josh?
I can probably do this Friday. Week's a little
Right.
busy.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, that's good. As long as we can get the report before the next
Yeah.
meeting, then we are good.
Yeah. I mean, I'll also fish around a bit and see if there are any sort of, I mean, it's not a big respondee population, but I'm sort of interested because if you scroll up, you look at, we basically have two groups in terms of how many clusters people are deploying.
Oh, yeah.
Because basically people are either deploying a few clusters or they're deploying a lot of clusters.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot in between, if you notice that, right? A
Yeah,
third of
yeah.
everybody is deploying fewer than 10 clusters, and a third is deploying more than 100, and everybody in between is only another third. So
Yes.
it'll be interesting to look at those two groups, the more than 100 and less than 10, and see how those line up with how those line up with with, like, say, the requested features.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Probably there's no enough response. Only 50. If we have 500, probably that's good result. 50 is not enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I only want to look at sort of the major divisions, and not combine more than two answers into any sort of correlation, right? Because at that point you end up with individual people. But I am curious about whether or not lots of clusters versus only a few clusters makes a huge difference. I'm probably also going to discard Purple Idea's responses since he's opposed to the entire idea of an etcd operator, which make them not useful. So, yeah. Oh, I just realized, did you scroll past the email addresses during this?
Yeah. We have.
Oh, yeah, no. No, it's just if you scroll past the email addresses, I'm going to need to edit the video before it goes up.
Yeah.
We need to blur those out of the video. So,
Probably not this one.
So.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we have the mailing list. We also have a Slack channel. Yeah, anyone can reach out through the mailing list or Slack channel.
Yeah. No, I'm just, before we post the video for this meeting, I need to edit it to remove any personal identifying information from the survey.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? I didn't really see anything else in the survey that looked. I mean, obviously the other one is, what do you find most challenging? I didn't see anything really unexpected in there.
Yeah, the only minor concern, not big, just minor concern to me is some people do not understand the scope and the outer scope. Because, for example, the class API provider is out of scope.
I think cluster API can be considered different way because
Yeah.
there are a lot of clusters managed by Kamaji, and I think it is still required to have it. Like they still use cluster API and they still need etcd for running tenant clusters. That's the same thing we do.
Yeah, just I mentioned in the first step, because we are going to support application instead of Kubernetes itself. But the class API is about Kubernetes itself, so it's out of scope. But but on the other hand, cluster API also can support external etcd cluster. In that case, etcd cluster, there's no difference running as a normal workload. In that case, yeah, we are open to integrate with Class API, but that's not the short-term goal.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is not out of scope. I just mean that people who were answering this, they might meaning different things. What they wrote.
Yeah. Let's go back to the first thing is the next thing is about the roadmap. Yeah, we already mentioned that. We also need to, just as Josh mentioned, we also need to evaluate the existing RCD operator based on the roadmap. Yeah, no matter we adopt an existing RCD operator or create a new one from scratch, eventually we will need to create a RCD operator project under the RCD-IO organization. So I think we can create that project for now in the first step. Yeah. Oh, John, I think James.
Should we consider which framework we are going to use as well?
Yeah, you will just create an empty project under the RCD-IO. No matter we adapt our existing RCD operator or create a new one, no matter which way we follow, we usually will have a project under the RCD-IO, right? So we can create a project for now.
I think the problem with etcd.io is that it was not fully onboarded to all the tools in Kubernetes 6. That was the only concern there.
Okay, so yeah, I think this etcd is Kubernetes 6. I don't see any blocker to put the etcd operator under the etcd-IO. Is there any blocker?
So prow builds, I don't know. I remember that there are issues to be able to have various features that are not yet there via the tooling that there is in Kubernetes and Kubernetes 6. But we can discuss it.
Yeah. I mean, the idea is that it's all going to be enabled. Right now, Infra is going through a migration to get all Kubernetes owned GitHub orgs under the new Kubernetes enterprise account. And if not already, once that's done, all of the orgs will have access to the full set of tooling.
Okay.
And that's happening like this summer, so it's not far off.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I'm okay to create the sub project under the etcd-IO or Kubernetes 6. I'm okay to either way.
Okay.
Yeah, the last thing I want to discuss a question for the etcd manager. Eventually we will support for example, the backup and restore. For example, we will probably most likely we will use some resource, some AWS S3, something like that. So I'm not sure how the etcd manager get that resource during the development and test. Probably a question for the hackman.
So can you repeat the question, please?
We eventually most likely we will support the backup and the restore. For example, backup the data to our cloud storage, for example, the AWS S3, and restore our etcd cluster from our backup, something like that. Anyway, we need some resource. So I recall the etcd manager supports such functionality. So how did you get the resource during your test and development? So who found this resource?
We created as part of the cluster creation. Or no, we get it part of the cluster creation as a parameter where we have access to do the backup and the restore. But thinking about it, I think it may be a better idea to have it as a separate process somehow. For us, it was a concern that the operator might get too many permissions to the external buckets. But here being separate completely for an application, it depends on the person. You can provide the bucket as a, I don't know, and you have permissions to whatever permissions you need to it.
Okay.
You can see how other operators and other projects solving this. Usually they require for administrator to providing credentials for S3. And there is also open source initiative, which is called CoC. This project under Kubernetes 6. It is automation for providing S3 buckets. The same way, like you querying persistent volume claims, they have bucket claims. And so you can order buckets from different resources.
But in this case, you would need a persistent bucket. You don't want your bucket to change based on cluster. You would want to know exactly where to find your backup in case of need.
Yeah, sure. One more thing, I think it would be really great to value different operators, even etcd operators. As far as I know, etcd Druid was started as project for making backups and restores for etcd, and later then turned to be operator for operating lifecycle. So I think the API consideration should be the next step. For now, we should collect a roadmap and to think what to do first.
Yeah, I agree. This is not priority, just a question for now. We are not rushed to resolve the resource issue. I see some comments in the chat. Some in also some R3 compatible deployments. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a workaround. But eventually, if we support cloud storage, we need a real deployment to test that. Eventually, yeah, we definitely need that. But yeah, we can figure out later. It's not priority for now. Yeah, we need to figure out who funds the resource. We need somebody to fund the resource.
I think one problem with cloud storage is that you add support for AWS as the storage backend, and then people will come and say, we want support for GCE and another cloud and another cloud. So you can add this, but you basically become like an abstraction layer for cloud storage at this point. Maybe there has to be a way to also use local storage as a backup. You feed a volume, and you can tell this managed etcd cluster to write somewhere locally the way you want. This could be step one, and then you can start thinking about cloud features.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, in totally, yeah, overall, this is not priority for now. Yeah. Yeah, let's go back to
not to move backwards in the agenda, but one of the things I was just thinking about, I was looking for the repo request and stuff. Do we want one or two repos? So I was actually kind of thinking that we might want a repo for the working group just to hold like project board and issues and stuff that would be independent of development of actual operator code.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, let's go back to this 1 second.
Yeah.
Deliverables. Yeah, we only have survey reports, and also the evaluation results of the existing as operator, something like that, and the roadmap. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, probably we can create for example, create a sub project under etcd working group, and put the survey reports and evaluation reports and something like that under this.
Yeah. Oh, right, that's true. We can actually just go ahead and use this directory for some of these things. Although if we want to do a project board, then we actually kind of need to have a separate repo for that.
Yeah, it's not big problem to me. We can put all the survey reports and evaluation reports, something like that, into a subfolder, subdirectory under the working group. But we can also put all the result into a separate repo under the LCD operator projects repo. It's okay. It's not big problem to me.
Yeah, I think you should just create the repo today, pretty much, if possible, and then you can have a project there. You can have an issue tracker. The repo doesn't have to start having the code right away, you know, of the actual operator. So I think this, instead of having two repositories, I think it's better to have this repository as the issue tracker and project board and everything, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, agree. Yeah, this is action item, right? Action item.
Okay. Oops.
Yeah, we can discuss. Yeah, we can discuss under the etcd.io or Kubernetes.
I see James in chat is saying that there are absolutely no blockers for having this repo in the etcd.io. I mean, I think Hackman brought this topic. The question is like, if there are any blockers, maybe we can give it some time. If people actually say, hey, there are actually blockers for this, then don't create it in etcd.io. But I think it's fine as long as you have you know, Pro integration, LGTM proof, labels, and etc. I think it's good to go in etcd.io.
Okay. Yeah, I think in the first meeting, we have already discussed enough topic. Next meeting, we can continue to discuss the next step based on the survey reports. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
I have one question. As about evaluation of existing operators, how it should be done, like how it will be evaluated by the quality of code, existing features, what are criteria for this?
Yeah, just as Josh mentioned, in the first step, we need to create a roadmap, probably a rough roadmap based on the survey reports. And after that, we will evaluate all the existing etcd operator based on the roadmap. So whether or not the existing operator match the roadmap, we will based on this. And this is criteria. And another perspective is we will also evaluate probably the quality of the etcd operator, some of the quality, but this is my personal standpoint.
By amount of
I would also
adopters,
say,
I guess.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, Josh.
Oh, I was going to say, I would also say how well it integrates into current Kubernetes infrastructure should be a factor. You know, existing current Kubernetes tooling, things like KubeBuilder, etc. You know, other things like we just had this whole discussion of volumes, whether or not it uses other management tools for storage or whether it tries to manage storage on its own. So there's a bunch of considerations that are going to make it easier or harder to maintain.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
amount of adopters, is it important or not?
Unless somebody has a truly huge number of adopters, I don't think so.
I would say that we need also simplicity. We are trying to build it to add the feature that we consider important, and we don't want an overloaded operator. We want to be easy for us to understand what they did there, not necessarily feature complete, right?
Agree, I totally agree. Yeah, simplicity also means more readability, and it's easy to understand. It's also in that case we can improve the maintainability. Yeah, I agree, totally agree. It's good point.
I think there's not a simple answer to this question. What is the criteria for an existing operator? The ecosystem is already fragmented, as you probably saw. There are different solutions out there. And basically, if you look at the whole space, everybody is opinionated, everybody wants a different feature. And this is something we discussed before the working group creation, is that we are pretty much going to try to remove any sort of bias and basically say that if it's an existing project, I don't think, so personally, I don't think we can take an existing project. We can take a feature set for an existing project. And if there's a project that is widely used already, that's not a criteria because the space is already fragmented, like I said. And it's just, it's very up in the air. If you ask me, SQL lifecycle, one of the participants here, I will probably say we can give the feedback. Okay, this integrates really well with our tooling. But if you have to ask me like who is the actual, de facto stakeholder, is going to be SIG etcd and the etcd maintainers, because it's going to be a project which lands under their umbrella as a sub-project of the SIG etcd. And if the project ends up unmaintained or is having any troubles, it's going to be on them to try to resolve any of that. So the real stakeholder in the end of the day is SIG etcd, people like Benjamin, they're basically going to give the technical decision on choices such as, are we going to use feature X from existing one? Are we going to use the whole existing one operator? Or are we going to start from scratch? That's one of the reasons there's a working group here, because we are going to have to tend to all these individual little decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, I will drive the discussion with the SIG etcd leads and SIG cloud lifecycle leads. We will drive the discussion and make final decision and public to the community, to the Slack channel and the mailing list. Most likely we will. Yeah, I don't think we can get the final decision very soon. I don't think we can get the final decision in the next 1 or 2 weeks. Probably we will get that decision in the next community meeting, because in the next meeting we will get final survey reports. We will get a roadmap. That's the top priority for now. After that, we will make a decision whether or not to create new operator or adopt existing operator. That's the next step. Yeah, I think we can, yeah, it's good enough. We have already discussed all the topics for this meeting. Is there any, we still have time. Is there any other thing you want to discuss?
Sorry, I kind of want a question related to the survey. I joined kind of late. Sorry, I have overlaps all over the place. Related to the survey, I saw, I participated in the survey, of course. There was one question particular to the requested features, and it's like, to my understanding, it's a question in Google Forms with checkboxes, so where I can pick multiple responses. So I think the question is like, what does this give us? Is this something that we are going to use as the driver? So just an example, back in the day, we opened a survey for KubeADM. I don't know, release 1.16 or something like that. In the past, we created a survey and we asked the top feature that the people want. And this was the driver. We actually, based on that, we planned the agenda for the next release. Is this similar to that? And for example, are we, based on this question, are we planning the feature set in the roadmap that is going to be like the, I don't know, the first release of the operator?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, let's go back to the meeting notes. I think the Josh have a good summary on the survey results. Yeah, we are. Yeah, anyway, we are ranking. Let's go back to this. We will have a ranking response. For example, the top one, this is the top one, right? This is the second one. We will have a list of feature ranked by the user response. Most likely, we will create a result map based on the ranking list. And we also probably will have additional feature to make some adjustment on the list. We probably have some group, for example, the top priority, the most the user need most, the second middle, and the three groups, and also the feature and additional feature. In the beginning, we will focus on the top priority, the most the user wants.
I see. This is great. I think this is great. So this is basically going to be part of the roadmap as the top, I don't know,
Yeah.
top
Yes,
5
yes.
features. This is really good. I like it. Okay, that was my question pretty much. I think this is going to go well.
Yeah. Okay, that's all. Yeah, that's all today's meeting.
Okay. Thanks,
Yeah, thank you.
everybody. Watch Slack and or the mailing list, because as soon as I have the sort of feature priority groupings up, I will put them up for people's comments.
Yeah, thank you. See you next meeting. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you.